Or is it actually live?
I think we're live.
Are we live?
Can you guys hear us?
Oh, now we're live. Now it worked.
Live.
It worked.
Yeah.
Let us know how this quality is. We never know what our internet is going to be like. It's a surprise.
Every time. We're doing this on YouTube's webcam thing, which just lets you use like your computer's camera. We haven't done that before.
We haven't?
No, we've always done it on our phones.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to these things.
All right, people can hear us.
Cool.
And see us, presumably.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, this is awesome. Hey, look at all these awesome people here.
Oh, I recognize a lot of these names. Hi, people. Winnipeg. Cool. Nice. It's probably cold up there, huh? It's cold here, too. Don't worry.
It's cold here, too. But it's not actively precipitating, which is
it's actually like not that
surprising.
Cold. We lied. It's actually like pretty decent.
Yeah.
So just a quick update. We're in Ohio still. That's why we are able to do live streams.
Because the internet's decent.
We have decent internet here. So we're going to try to do more live streams. And we're going to try to do more live streams this whole year, upcoming year. But like, we can't make promises about that because internet is
kind of hard.
Fickle beast.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody. Thanks for everyone who's saying hi. Like, definitely hit that like button if you're willing. That'll send this out to some more people. Let people know that it's going on.
Oh, this is cool. Look, we got Pennsylvania and Michigan and Kansas and Tennessee.
Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Not too far.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So
BSC Jake got their stickers. Awesome. All right, guys. Since we are talking about stickers, we got our awesome limited edition Patreon sticker. It's really cool.
So this is just for people who are patrons by the end of the year, because this was our first year doing YouTube and doing Patreon, and it's been really awesome to get the support that we have. So we wanted to do something special for people that are on Patreon in our first year. So if you're not on Patreon, head over there, support us, low as $1. We really appreciate it.
And you get a really cool
custom sticker. So yeah, I mean, before we even get started, we just wanted to like say a huge thank you to everyone who's been part of our YouTube journey here and supported us, whether on Patreon or just by watching videos and subscribing. And yeah,
you guys are Instagram,
super awesome.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
We love you all.
And we couldn't do it without you guys. Like, by commenting and liking and supporting us on Patreon, like all of that stuff makes a huge difference.
We got someone from Walla Walla, Washington.
Washington.
There's like, what's that comedian's name? There's some Mike Birbiglia has a great skit where he ends up in Walla Walla, Washington, and like someone, I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember.
No, so he's at a La Quinta Inn.
Yeah.
But he calls it La Quinta Inn in Washington.
Yeah, well, I think he called it La Quinta, and they were like, oh, it's La Quinta. So he's like, oh, it must be Washington. Anyway, never mind. That's all I think
Random
of every time I see that. I've never been to Walla Walla or
whatever
it's called. But anyway, hi. Thank you, Trail Features.
Thanks, Trail Features. The bomb.
Yeah.
4961 Studebaker said that his calendar arrived.
Yeah. So yeah, Kansas City.
Calendar. Anybody who is interested, we have calendars.
We still have a few left.
Yes, there are a few left. So.
They're just like our favorite photos from the year. Put it into a calendar. So if you want to stare at that all year.
So that you are stoked to ride your bike.
So you can get stoked to ride your bike every month.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do a live stream because we have really exciting announcements and like things that we're changing for next year. And now is the time that we get to talk about them a little bit. Maybe we should talk about the things that aren't changing that much first. Nah.
Yeah, no, let's keep people in suspense. We're going to keep people in suspense.
Thanks for
We're keeping you guys
soap for
in
the super
suspense.
chat. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do goats make soap?
Yeah, we got a nice message from these guys recently.
Yeah?
Yeah, they told us that we should come visit and they would give us some soap.
But do the goats make the soap? That's what I want to know. Because that'd be sweet.
That's a good question. I would like to know how goats would make soap. That's a very good question. Anyway,
so things that aren't changing. We
Not
are
changing.
gonna keep doing YouTube. Yay!
Yes.
So yeah, nobody like panic that this is
not us quitting YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you guys are too awesome.
Yeah.
More awesome.
So still gonna be riding bikes, still gonna be doing YouTube.
Still gonna be racing bikes, even.
Everything. Oh, that's an interesting point. Is the soap
Is the
made
soap
of goats?
made of
I hope
goats?
not. That sounds less appealing than soap made by goats, but we'll just skate over that for the moment.
That's okay. The goats make soap will let us know shortly who makes the soap and what the soap is made out of.
Yeah. So
other things that are not changing, we will still be living in a van because we love our van.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The real Shafta says, why is riding bikes even being questioned?
I don't think it
Obviously,
was.
it wasn't.
But
We just,
yeah.
Here, we might be able to make, someone said the picture was grainy. We might be able to make it look slightly
I think
better.
the picture is grainy because we have the like lowest settings on so that you can actually like see us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even though we have good internet, it's not really that good.
Yeah, basically.
It's not that good because both of our families live at the ends of the earth.
Apparently.
On opposite sides of the country.
At least in terms of internet. It's like the end of the
we probably do need
earth
more lighting,
internet.
but unfortunately that's not going to happen.
It's not too bad.
Unless I like move a lamp or something. Whatever. It's cool.
It'll be fine.
It's cool. It's
These people love us. They'll hang out.
Yeah, they'll hang out anyway. Yeah, it's also dark outside. It's late. It's like 8:30. Anyway, so let us get into it. Our big change for next year is that we are going to be doing some different kinds of mountain bike racing. Last year, actually the last 4 years, we have only raced enduro.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Scott McCune. That's awesome.
Yes.
The Burrito Fund. Yeah, we gotta keep
we
working
appreciate
on the
that.
Fund.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes the Burrito Fund gets low in the
It
off
does.
season.
And then our stomachs get empty from lack of burritos.
Don't worry, we're not actually starving. We're good.
But sometimes we don't have enough burritos. We actually ate burritos tonight. So we will
true.
Now we can eat burritos tomorrow too, which is awesome. You were saying.
So our biggest change for the coming year is that we are not just racing enduro. We are going to be doing some mountain bike endurance events, which is a big, crazy change for us and should be really entertaining for all of you because we are just like completely moving out of the comfort zone and doing something new.
Yeah. And so you guys are probably like, oh, big deal. Like, so you're not like racing the one you've been racing. This isn't that different. But we are racing some multi-day cross-country stage races. And that's kind of a very
scary.
Different sort of training that we're going to have to do. So instead of just like focusing more on the downhill side of things and like working on our skills and like sprint fitness, we now have to be able to ride our bikes fast and hard for like 3+ hours in a row or at a time, multiple days in a row.
Yeah. So someone asked about Cape Epic. No Cape Epic. Our big event is we will be doing BC Bike Race. Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Phoenix Matt nailed it. So BC Bike Race is 8 days. It's in July. So that's going to be like a really big thing and completely unlike anything we've ever done before. We are also going to be doing it as a co-ed team.
Yes.
Go team. So that should be really entertaining. I think that's the thing that our coach is the most worried about, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. When we talk to him,
he's like, I've seen marriages dissolve.
And since we just officially had a wedding.
Yeah, if we want to make it to our first or second or whatever anniversary,
we have to make it through this race. So
no road bike racing. Don't
get
too worried. So the endurance thing, we want to do events that are challenging us both physically and technically. So BC Bike Race is definitely not easy trails either. Like definitely like gonna push us on the XC trail technical skills,
Rudy,
the technical
muddy
climbing, as
Yeah.
well as I'm sure like some really long road climbs that will be completely out of our comfort zone.
And
So
what's going to be fun is because we're doing it as a duo, I will probably be following Sid a certain amount. So I will be
because
able
if he
to.
goes in front, he'd leave me behind.
I did not say that. You said
Yeah,
that.
but
I would
pretty
not
much
leave
that's
her
what would
behind.
happen.
But no, we'll wear. I'll be wearing the camera, and so that I can follow Sid and get awesome, like footage of Sid while she's racing, which is going to be really cool. So hey, Blue Maldonado,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Sweet. We just sent out your package today, I think, or was it?
Yeah, no,
yesterday?
I sent it out today.
Sweet. Awesome.
On its way to you.
Yeah, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, we've been doing some giveaways. I think we're done with this round of giveaways, but there will be more in the future.
No, there's another one on Saturday.
Just kidding. There's another one on Saturday.
There's another one coming on Saturday.
I'll
on
ask
Instagram.
Mackie later what it is we're giving away on Saturday, because I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Genuine innovation stuff. She's not paying attention.
Don't give away the surprise.
No, now they'll get people excited. They're all going to want to win it.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's really like the change is the type of racing that we're doing. We're still going to be racing. Duh. I think it seems to an outsider, people are like, oh, cool. Like you can, just jump from discipline to discipline. Honestly, that's actually like kind of hard as a sponsored athlete. Like that's the sort of thing that like this ability to like go do BC bike race this coming summer. Like that's something that YouTube and particularly Patreon have really opened up for us, because
it's been awesome.
In the past, we maybe wouldn't be able to like take the risk of like going to sponsors and be like, hey, you've been paying us to do this thing that we're good at, but like
we're gonna totally change it.
Like, totally go off this direction. So I just want to thank you guys for having that, having YouTube be
it's allowed us to do other stuff. And we also realized that if you're not like super engrossed in the mountain bike world like we are, that it's hard to it's hard to understand all the different types of mountain bike racing and how they're different from each other. And for a lot of people, it's like you're racing mountain bikes. It's really not that different. Like if you're racing enduro or racing cross country, so why does it matter? But I think part of what we're excited about is being able to say, we are being able to show you guys what these other kinds of races are like. Like, at least for me, that's part of it, is like being able to go and do a cross country stage race and be like, here's how the training's different. Here's how the racing's different. Here's, how we are tired in a different way, or different things are hard for us because of that. We're probably going to be a lot more tired afterwards, but hopefully
maybe grumpier.
Hopefully we will be doing less crashing and I will not get stitches in my arm next year. There's just different challenges with different types of racing.
Guarantee of that.
Well, there's no, yeah, I know, really, but there's no guarantee.
I don't know. Here we go.
No, there's no guarantee, but because it's a different kind of racing, you can do different, or it is different kind of racing, different kind of training, different kind of fatigue. And I think hopefully you guys will enjoy that.
Yeah.
We enjoy sharing that with you
guys. I think that we want to focus more on picking races that are the sort of thing that are good, destinations and bucket list things for people. And I think that, that can be enduro races, and that can also be these kind of XC stage races. You can go and do an XC stage race like this without necessarily racing it. You don't have to be a racer. A lot of people are doing that. And I think we can show a broader schema of the mountain biking world. That's not the right word. Broader scope. That's what I was going for.
That was the word.
Yeah.
By the way, we're sorry that we were slightly distracted. We were getting random messages.
Trying to delete
and
comments,
we're not very good at
added some
processing.
People as moderators, so hopefully
so thank you.
You guys are helpful.
Yeah, come help us out. And thank you to Trails to Ales very much for the $20.19. Very awesome. Clever. You were the first person to come up with that.
Oh, I
Get it?
didn't
See?
even get it.
Sid
I'm
just
a
got it.
total dope.
I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Real Shafta says, come to Revelstoke. I wonder if we're going to be near there or not.
I don't know, but we might be able to make it happen. I think we got the course list for BC Bike Race. I think it's more coastal. I don't actually know where Revelstoke is. I know it's like Vancouver Island to Squamish, basically.
Is what we're racing.
So,
which is going to be cool. Let's see. What did people say? Lots of trolls. Yeah, I know.
Federation of the Shaved Heads. I like it. Still Jameis is the question.
Oh yeah, a couple people have asked that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've really enjoyed working with Jameis, and we're sort of discussing with them what makes the most sense bike wise for certain of these races, and we haven't quite decided yet. We may possibly be on other prototypes for some of these races. It depends a little bit when the prototypes show up. Potentially some more of their XC style bikes, and then obviously we will still be racing enduro, and so we will be using the portal and the hardline for those races.
Yeah.
Which actually brings us to the next thing, which is our first race of the year, is not BC Bike Race, because that would be a long time from now. We are racing Andes Pacifico, which is a 5-day enduro stage race in Chile. And so that's really exciting.
Yeah. So we're like doing it all in 2019, basically. So Andes Pacifico is in February. So that's going to be kind of our kickoff, which will be good because we won't have the fitness that we will need for BC Bike Race, obviously. Yeah. So, but we hopefully will still remember how to ride bikes, even though it's been really wet here in Ohio. So we've been like mainly riding road bikes, but luckily we don't like forget.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like training wise, we have to balance like the fitness to do 7 days of cross country stage racing with the ability to, still sprint to race enduro effectively and have the descending skills to do that effectively. So it's going to be, I think, really fun to like balance that work this year and figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah. And right now we're staying with my parents in Ohio. We've been here for about 3 weeks. We really like dove into training because we're taking this off season as since we have some time to like really up the ante a little bit on our training, because we've been doing only enduro for 5 years. So obviously like our endurance fitness, like,
yeah, we can go for a really long time, but not hard. And so to be able to go hard for a long time is going to be some different training than what we've been doing recently.
A process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think it's going to be real good. All right, let's look at some comments here.
Someone asked about Iceman Cometh. That is not on the list for this year, but maybe someday.
Honestly, like we're focusing more on the main part of the season, and then
it's true. That's like November. Or
that's late. Like that.
We won't say no.
We won't say no, but
don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
Someone else asked about gravel racing. We actually do want to do a gravel race at some point, like just for fun. Yeah. But I don't know if we're going to be able to fit it in.
We've heard Grinduro is really cool.
Yeah, we want to do that. The timing is
gravel,
tricky.
Half enduro.
Yeah.
So we don't, anyway. Yeah, we're not sure. One asked, what do we do for health insurance?
Good question.
That is a good question.
This is actually like a funny story that I don't know if we should tell on the internet, but I think we'll just go for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, because we go for full disclosure. We have been on New Mexico's Centennial Care, so basically Affordable Care Act, for the past 3 years. Last year, Mackie wouldn't have qualified, but then we got married at the end of 2017, and our combined income
qualified
was low enough that we qualified. sort of. We got this like really weird letter that was like, this is the amount you can make them for a month and still qualify. Like, this is the amount that you're making, which was more. Like, congratulations, you qualify. And we like called and we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, you're good. So they just approved us again, even though it's like we really shouldn't qualify. So yeah, welcome to healthcare in America. No, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And
yeah, it's, you know, and like, yeah, I mean, like Juan said, healthcare in the US sucks, frankly. Like, personally, I'm just going to go ahead and like say this. Like, I believe that healthcare should be socialized. Like, I think everybody should have access to healthcare. That is, to me, seems like a very important thing. The countries that we spend time racing in have socialized healthcare, and it's awesome, frankly.
Yeah, and it's really sad to see people having to make decisions about
like not
whether,
being able
and
to
we
race their
see
bike.
this a lot. Like, it's not the first, like being able to ride or race because of healthcare, or like on the more serious side, like especially with before when you could be eliminated for pre-existing conditions, like to know that if you got a diagnosis of something that suddenly you couldn't have healthcare. So yeah. It sucks. I don't know if we didn't qualify for the Centennial Care. I think we would just pay. Like, I think we could afford to pay. We would have to have a high deductible, basically. And that sucks because then if you need stitches, you don't go and get them done.
Or you're wait, well,
you don't go unless it's like life or death.
Yeah, which is not good. It's not the way it should be. So
yeah.
That's, I mean, honestly, like, when was it? I guess it was last year, 2017. I knocked my pinky out at the EWS in Colorado, and I was like, I was able to like pop it back in after the race, and the EMT was like, you should go to the hospital and get it x-rayed, because if you don't and you have like bone flakes in your knuckle, you could lose the ability to like move your pinky finger, which my hands are kind of important for racing bicycles. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And I felt comfortable doing that because I was on because I had health insurance, which covered that. If I didn't have health insurance, I probably would have been
hope I don't have bone flakes.
Hope I don't have bone flakes. And then that could screw you up in the long term. So yeah, it's a bummer. It's something that we wish that everybody had it.
So basically the answer to that is right now we're stuck in a loophole because New Mexico bureaucracy is a total mess. So they just keep giving us health insurance, but I guess it's better than not giving us health insurance.
Yeah, no, we're very happy. We're just worried that it's going to disappear, basically.
Yeah. So anyway, people who are tuning in now, our major change for next year is that we are doing some multi-day endurance races. We are not doing only enduro racing. And in summary, that is because of you guys and YouTube and Patreon, because as sponsored athletes, it's pretty hard to just be like, whoop, we're going to do something totally different. Most of our sponsors are totally on board, but it was, they had some difficult conversations, and
people wanted to make sure that we would still be able to effectively promote them while doing different kinds of races than what we've been doing. And, we were able to talk about ideas they had and ideas we had and figure that out so that everybody's happy and they continue to support us. But some of our sponsors have come on at a lower level than they have in years past. And so the support of you guys on YouTube and Patreon is going to be even more important for us next year. So thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, greetings from Finland.
Oh yeah, nice.
But you'll appreciate this, you from Finland. We just helped my parents build a sauna. It was a really fun project.
Yeah.
So now they have a sauna, which is awesome.
And we love it.
Yeah, because we like projects when we're in the off season.
And we're gonna start doing some hot cold training, possibly, where we jump in cold water and sit in it for a couple minutes and then go
extremes a little bit.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah. Trails to Ales asked if Scratch is sponsoring us. Oh, good question.
We have been trying to get in touch with them and got in touch with someone who said, get in touch with me in a month. This was in November. It has been almost 2 months now, and I have not been able to get in touch with them. So at the moment, no.
We still really like their stuff though.
Yeah, their
even though
stuff's
they
awesome.
Ignore us.
But
it's cool.
Yeah, we wish they would, help a brother out. You know what I'm saying?
We're able to get a discount though, so we're
so
happy and we like it. So we'll
Yeah, I
probably
mean,
keep using it.
It's good stuff. It works. It just, we would like to help promote them because we believe in their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, for people who have just tuned in, this is our Sid and Mackie 2018 Patreon team sticker, which we just got made. And I'm blocking Sid. And all of our Patreon team members, by the end of the year, so like in early January, we're going to send these out to all of our Patreon team, regardless of level. So if you are interested in helping us keep doing YouTube and racing different races, despite the fact that we do not have quite as much support next year as we have this year, you should come help us out. All right, some questions. Someone
wants to know who we're sponsored by. I think our 2019 program is going to be basically the same as this year. So major sponsors are Jameis, Vittoria, Pearl Izumi, Slime, Expedo,
Osprey, Shimano, X Fusion.
Yeah.
Laser helmets again.
Yeah, so Laser and Shimano and Pearl Izumi are all one big happy family. So that sounds like a lot of things, but it's actually kind of one. And also kind of 3 different things at the same time.
Yeah,
so it's like
they were like, it would be good
game.
if you could work with these other ones because we're all part, but you don't have to. And we were like, okay, we'll talk and find out. And it worked out really well. So let's see. Switching from enduro.
Good sponsors, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're still racing enduro. We're just also racing some endurance stuff. We are focusing more on events that are fun.
Yeah, and so we've mentioned a couple of the events that we're doing, specifically BC Bike Race in July.
Yeah.
And which is a 8-day cross-country stage race. At the very beginning of the year, it's going to be hard. We are racing a 5-day enduro stage race in Chile, which is Andes Pacifico. Then when we get back from that, we are going to race Moab Rocks, which is a 3-day cross-country stage race. And that's going to be like a practice race for us.
Training, practice.
And we're going to practice riding together since we're racing BC Bike Race co-ed duo, we're going to practice riding together as a couple, or racing together as a couple.
Someone said party at Paha. Well, hell yeah, if it happens again. I don't know. Let us know. 24-hour races. Ooh. Yeah. Not that appealing to me right now. We might do a endurance downhill race that is yet to be announced whether it's going to happen or not. So that would be like that format, only going downhill, but not for 24 hours.
It'd be like,
that's way too long.
It'd be like longest day of the year. In other words, June 21st or 22nd. Downhill race as many laps as you can do, or how fast can you do a certain number of laps or something. Basically, really, really brutal, but really fun also. So that's exciting.
Yeah. So hopefully the timing works out and we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what other
scoop on Party at Paha. Party at Paha was like one of the best. It was just like so fun.
Yeah. Oh, we had a blast. It was great. Absolutely.
It was awesome. A race at some of you might have seen the video, but a race at Pajarito where it was like you have 5 stages, but you could do them in whatever order you wanted and like ride with your friends and like do them as many times as you wanted. And it was just totally nutty and silly and fun.
And I got all flustered and like crashed a bunch. I was like, dude, Mackie, get it together. It was really
it's hard
funny,
when it's like, oh, you could do this again. You're like, oh, I'll just go even faster and take risks.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, eventually
you're just
I have
to
hurt
yourself.
Stop crashing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got kind of sidetracked there.
Let's see. Let's talk about our schedule. So we talked about Andes Pacifico in February. Then we return to the US and go to Moab for Moab Rocks. Then we have Sea Otter. And we are going to do a group ride at Sea Otter.
Yeah. Details.
Yeah, details to be determined.
Definitely not determined yet.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll be announcing that on Patreon.
That's in Monterey, California.
Yeah, Monterey, California. If you're not, yeah. So anybody who's in the California area should plan to come down for that.
Sea Otter's cool.
It is cool.
It's crazy and hectic, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
we're
it's
getting
going to be a group ride.
sidetracked again.
Okay, sidetracked. Okay,
we don't need to go through everything. Basically,
well, the big ones.
Yeah. So we're gonna do Moab Rocks. Jason Janelle's gonna be at Moab Rocks too. That's awesome. Oh, we just found out BKXC is doing Moab Rocks too. So it's gonna be a YouTube. It's
gonna be a party.
We
don't know if he's told anybody that, so you didn't hear it from us.
You should have known better than tell us. Tell us. If it was a secret.
Anyway, so Sea Otter.
We'll do some Enduro Cup. They don't have their schedule out.
Yeah,
but
we'll be racing
how
some
that fits in
races in there.
And then
Downeyville.
Well, then BC Bike Race, then Downeyville.
BC Bike Race, Downeyville.
Then more Enduro races that we haven't figured out, basically. We'd love to go back to Grand Targhee, which we did this year. That was like one of the coolest places you've ever ridden. That was
so much fun. That was one of the best. We should do a best of races video.
At some point we should do that. Yeah. Because we did so many good.
We did some really good ones this year.
So many good races.
Stay tuned. We're going to make that happen.
Someone asked, I am from Ohio. Mackey's not from Ohio.
Not from Ohio.
He's from New Mexico. I'm from Ohio. Grand Junction off-road. I don't know if we're ready for like epic rides races yet.
I don't know. I would love to do that. When I raced that, I mean, I'm not saying we should do it this year, but we will probably do those. I raced those back when I was racing cross country, and they're so good.
Yeah. Where I lost my train. I think that's basically it. And with a lot of enduro races, like we don't really know what's going on in like August and September, and we'll kind of fill that in when we know how we're feeling. Having not done this kind of endurance racing before, we might need to have a little bit of a lighter August, September than we have in past years.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Someone asked a while ago about EWS racing. We are not doing any EWS this year. We didn't even try to qualify last year. So that was sort of like decided a while ago. We didn't do any qualifier races. We didn't even, honestly, EWS races are just like not that fun and not something I would recommend to like people that watch this channel and want to do a bike race.
No, go do a local race.
Do something like a destination race, but EWS races are not destination races. They are elite races that are very stressful and a lot of
they're essentially the equivalent of racing a World Cup downhill or a World Cup cross country. Like if you are a serious racer, you should go race one. If you want to like go do something fun, you should do a race like Andy's Pacifico or BC Bike Race or like something where it's fully supported and like you have all your food and you just like that. Those are fun.
And so, so we are sort of like on the line between serious racing and wanting to have fun and heading more towards the wanting to have fun, but while also trying to be like even more in shape. But we just don't enjoy that environment that much, I think is what it comes down to.
Well, and then with the recent things about like people testing positive for doping,
which we don't.
It's just a bummer. Like obviously people are taking it too seriously. Like if you're willing to cheat to do well, you're taking it too seriously. Like, I don't know. If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be racing bikes, in my opinion.
Yeah. So we've had a few questions about bikes that we'll be riding. So far, both Moab Rocks and BC Bike Race are going to be great on the Jamis portal. It will be bigger than what a lot of people will be racing, but we like riding big bikes, and it's the kind of bike that it does pedal well enough that you can like enjoy yourself going up the hill and then like really have an advantage going down.
And we'll probably change our builds a little bit. So we'll lighten up the suspension. We won't be running a coil shock on them, for example.
And we might do different wheels and make different tire choices and stuff like that. But for the moment, the portal is going to be the go-to. If we started doing like some local XC races, we might look in or like more standard like XCO stuff that's in the loop, we might look into doing a hardtail because you just don't. But for these sort of big days, like there's actually a lot of advantage. Like Downeyville, there's a ton of advantage to having a 130 mil bike.
Yeah.
Especially if you have the fitness.
Yeah, which hopefully we will. And Trails to Ales asked how our off-season training is going to change. So that sort of brings us to another point we wanted to touch on is at the beginning of next year, so January of 2019, we are going to start a series about our off-season training, sort of like we did last year, but I think we've learned a lot about YouTube and matured as YouTubers in the last year. So I think it will be better and more fun. And as such, we're going to have like a whole series, and it won't be like focused on like the nitty gritty. There'll be some of that for the people who are interested, but like the focus will be more about like having fun and like entertaining you guys. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that.
Yeah. So there's a question, I think it was Trails to Ales as well. So
many good questions.
About what the first phase of our training will target, whether it's strength or endurance. It's kind of, at this moment, we're kind of in a base phase, which means we're basically targeting both of those things in the sense that we are doing weight training and heavy weight training, but we're also doing a lot of miles on the bike, and we've been riding our gravel bikes a lot, and they're awesome.
Yes, they're really fun.
So basically by doing that, we can do that heavy strength training because we're not also doing a ton of intervals. And because if your legs are really tired from doing the strength training, then your intervals suck basically.
And vice versa. Like you can't weight train properly and like have good form and avoid hurting yourself if you're too tired.
Yeah.
So
basically we've been like wearing ourselves out in the gym and then also riding for like 2 to 3 hours, which is like a big time commitment we've been doing, but I think I know our coach is smart dude. Luckily it's not up to us to like plan.
We aren't deciding what we're doing. He's deciding what we're doing. And so we just say, all right, you tell us what to do and we'll do it. And that's the benefit of having a coach, really.
Yeah.
You also have someone who says, don't do that thing, which is also really helpful.
Yeah. So basically we've been spending a lot of time in the gym, doing a lot of miles on the bike, but no high-end training at all. And
I don't know, some of the Rip Cave workouts have been
and we've been doing some stuff on the Rip Row, and that's pretty high-end.
And even on the bike on that. So
yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna have
not like we will be doing later.
Yeah, we're gonna have lots of details.
And we've been swimming. Mackie doesn't want to talk about swimming because he hates swimming.
I was hoping we wouldn't bring it up.
But we've been like working on a lot of like breathing stuff and like underwater work, and he hates it. It's funny because he loves all other training, but he hates it so much.
I don't like swim. Okay, here's my problem with swimming. I like to breathe. With reckless abandon. I want to breathe whenever I want to breathe. I don't want to only breathe when you're supposed to breathe. It's so annoying.
So lame to only.
Yeah, so it turns out I am not good at working hard when I can't breathe. Obviously, it's something I need to work on so that I can get better at it. But I just find it so frustrating. So frustrating. And then there's all these people being like, swimming's awesome. And I'm like,
that's why I mentioned it, because I knew there would be people on board with the swimming.
I was going to make fun of me now. Everyone's going to make fun of me in the comments now about not being able to swim.
It's fun because it's the only athletic pursuit I can beat Mackie at. Because even though he's like stronger than me and like way more aerobically, has a way higher aerobic capacity than me, for some reason he gets in the water and he just doesn't go anywhere.
Me and Love Jazz are on the same page. They don't like swimming either.
But yeah, Yankee Riders got it with the hypoxic training and is the goal.
Good. Curtis Jones is with me too. I'm going to find all the people who are with me.
You've got a lot of people.
Oh, good.
There we go.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But our coach has recently gotten into doing like breath training and the hot cold stuff. So we're kind of playing guinea pig for that a little bit, which is really fun. We like doing, well, he doesn't like the swimming, but the other stuff, we like trying new things. And it's like I don't know, we're just curious to see like if it helps us, if it doesn't help us, like whatever. It was fun to kind of like learn more about your body and your capacities. So
yeah. The other thing, speaking of new and different things, is we are trying blood flow restriction training, which we've mentioned a couple times in our videos with Revo. And we got some bands, and we haven't really used them seriously yet because we've been kind of just following our training schedule, and Mike hasn't started including those yet. But I think it's going to be a pretty neat way to like get either additional workouts or workouts that aren't quite as like exhausting but are still beneficial. So you guys should stay tuned because we're gonna have some info.
We're gonna have some really nerdy training videos, so make sure you watch them.
Yeah,
because in the past we've gotten a lot of requests for training videos, and then sometimes we post them, don't get that many views. So I have this suspicion that everyone wants to think that they want training videos. They don't actually want them. But so prove me wrong and watch the videos.
Us wrong. Tanner asks, what sets are we doing in the pool? I'm not doing sets of much of anything, frankly.
Back and forth.
Yeah, basically. I would need to work up to that. There we go. Just leave it there.
Yeah, so for people who are just tuning in right now, our big change for 2019 is that we will be doing some endurance XC racing and doing long, hard races. And specifically, we will be doing BC bike race.
Yes.
Which is a big bucket list item for us. And it's going to be hard and crazy.
Fun.
And we're doing it as a team, which is a new experience. Yeah, because they have a co-ed duo category. So anyway, that'll be entertaining. We'll probably do a video for like every single day of that. So it'll be like a ton of content and probably a lot of entertaining interactions because it'll be racing together for like 2.5 to 5 hours a day, depending on how slow we are.
I'm ready to be like, yep, that's fine. Here, eat this, please. That's going to be my entire race plan is to make sure that I have enough snacks on me that when Sid is like, I'm like, here, eat this. And when she's like, I'm not hungry, I'll be like, that's okay. Just eat it anyway.
That's our number one relationship advice.
Yeah. Feed your significant other. Always. Yeah. Trails to Ale says that Laura watches our training videos. So I'm glad.
Mackie would drown if he did 10 by 200s in the pool. Sorry.
I could probably do that. Wait, 200s?
That's 2,000 yards.
That's 8 times across.
Well, yeah, each 200 is 8 times.
Yeah.
So it's 8 times.
No way I'm not doing
10.
that.
That's 80 times across the pool.
No way. Not a chance.
Oh, hey.
Hey, B. BKXC, what's up?
I hope it wasn't a secret that you're doing Moab Rocks because we blew it.
We blew it.
We blew the secret.
Sorry. I'm just waiting to see what he's going to say.
Yeah, so anyway, people tuning in, we are doing endurance races, and it's going to be crazy and hard. And most recently, we were talking about how Mackie hates swimming because we've been training in the pool to try to work on this breathing stuff. And
I was saying that I don't like swimming because I like to breathe with reckless abandon.
Use a pool noodle. There you go.
There you
That's
go.
the answer.
That'd be really funny. I could get swim, like, what are they called? Floaties. I could get floaties. Yeah.
I think that would actually make things worse for you.
Oh, it would be so much worse.
This is funny. Someone says use the airliners in the pool. Like,
oh, these are great ideas. I'm gonna write some of these
probably
down.
do that because everyone on that video is like, it's a pool noodle, me. And then we could just show in a video how it's a terrible pool noodle. Yeah, I'm here. You keep talking. I'm writing some of these ideas down because they're awesome. Make sure to breathe out underwater. That's true. This is good advice. Yeah. So our coach, as we were saying earlier, has gotten really into all this kind of wacky stuff like breathing exercises and hot cold training and all the stuff that like supposedly boosts your VO2 max and your lactate threshold and basically your ability to withstand high and low temperatures. So we're sort of playing guinea pig for that. And one of the things of these breathing exercises that we've been doing every day, where you have to hold your breath while you're just like sitting. It's so hard.
It's
I was like,
really hard.
The YouTube video he sent us was like, hold your breath for 90 seconds. And I was like,
okay, wait, let me explain this. So you superventilate is what they call it. So you're basically hyperventilating, and then you let all the air out, and then you're supposed to hold your breath for 90 seconds after letting all the air out. You guys go ahead and try this and see if you're like, oh yeah, it's really easy.
Not right now. We don't want anyone to pass out.
No one pass out.
Live stream.
But like, it's really hard. Really hard. Also, Rafe says that he swam to Alcatraz and back.
That's
a long ways, I think.
That's legit, I think, because isn't it really cold?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm impressed. We're both impressed. I'm especially impressed.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been working on these breath hold things, and apparently, I guess because we are, used to doing sports where we can breathe whenever, but we're pretty bad at it. So that's kind of cool, because then it's like, all right, there's some room for improvement here. Maybe
Definitely.
Maybe I'll be better at going uphill on my bike if I could hold my breath for 9 seconds. Or maybe those things are totally unrelated. We don't know. That's what we're trying to find out.
It's hard.
Just having fun and,
I think I'm gonna get floaties. That's what I've decided.
Could make floaties out of airliners.
That's a good idea. Yeah, you guys gave us some good ideas. There's gonna be some good ones. People make fun of you if you wear a wetsuit.
No, imagine how much fun they'd make of you if you had floaties.
Yeah, nothing, Ray, nothing compared to what they're gonna make fun of me. Hey, there's John. What's up, John? So we've had a couple people join the big announcement, which John is on our Patreon team, and we announced it to them yesterday. So he knows this already, but we are doing some cross-country stage racing. Basically, this year, we are doing other racing, like just switching things up because we want to try some other stuff, and we want to just have fun. And part of the reason we can do that is because of YouTube. Our Patreon team specifically, and AdSense from YouTube is fairly small, but it helps. But the combo of those things make it possible for us to kind of try some other stuff that our sponsors aren't our sponsors aren't not encouraging.
It's almost what I imagine having job security would feel like. I've never felt that before, so I can't really say. But okay, here's how sponsorship works, guys. Every year you get a contract for 1 year. And then in November, you email someone who takes 3 months to respond to you to tell you if you...
or September, you start bugging people about the next year's contract. And then if you're lucky, by the end of the year, you get a contract.
Yeah, we right now have no contracts. We will. We're not worried. This is what happens every year. But there's always that possibility all the way through November, December, January that you're like, maybe they just all decided to screw it and move to tiny islands in the Caribbean, and none of these companies exist anymore, and
we're not going to have jobs. It can be kind of stressful. And so anyway, this having YouTube and Patreon has made it so much better.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone on Patreon or everyone who just watches videos, likes the videos, subscribes. You guys are awesome, and you have changed our lives.
Yeah.
For real, though.
Tanner Hickman says that he has joined BKXC, Seth, and Single Track Sampler and is thinking about joining us.
Well, we would be honored to be among that
you should join us.
Quartet.
Yeah, that would make us feel really special. And BKXC thinks that you should join us too.
Does he? Is he here?
I don't know if he's here anymore, but he would tell you to join us. I'm just saying. Yeah, thank you, Trails to Ales, giving us a shout out. Trails to Ales is on Patreon, obviously. And yeah, it's been fun. I mean, honestly, we really like these live streams because there's 120 people watching right now. And so we can actually chat and talk with you guys. And that's really cool. And we're hoping that our YouTube will continue to grow, but assuming it does, it will get harder to sort of have the one-on-one or, not one-on-one, but like be able to communicate as much. And so that's where the Patreon comes in, is since it's a smaller community, we're able to answer questions and respond to messages and all that stuff like all the time because it's a smaller group of people. Yeah. So it's cool.
Anyway, the point is we just appreciate all of you guys, and sponsorship is like
crazy,
both an awesome and a terrible way of making a living.
It's a really good way to put it, which could be said of any job. So
it's probably true. Yeah.
Trails to Ale says, show the sticker.
Yeah, here's the sticker again. Sticker for everyone who is a Patreon or a patron, not a Patreon.
Patreon team.
A patron in our first year of being on YouTube.
Yeah, see, it says 2018 down there. And this is only going to be...
we might have to hire Trails to Ales as our like manager. He's way better at this than
I think it's a good idea. But yeah, it's a limited edition, so only Patreon will be able to get it, and then no one else will.
Tanner.
So thanks, Tanner. Yeah. Brandon Gallegos asks, what's the long-term plan?
First, thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Appreciate it.
We actually got to ride with John after Downeyville last year. So
yeah,
that was super cool. We are hoping to do more group rides, kind of, both Patreon rides and just general group rides next year. So
we don't know anything.
Yeah, we don't know anything.
Currently, the plan is to be at Outer Bike Moab and Outer Bike Bentonville at the end of the year. We're kind of trying to put our event stuff at the end of the year, because when you put event stuff at the beginning of the year, you end up screwing up your training because you're on your feet for 5 days,
events, not racing,
doing group rides and all the stuff. So we're gonna try to get that off season kind of event schedule, do the Outer Bike. We love Outer Bike. It's a cool thing. And since Interbike bit the dust, finally, we can now put our energy into going to Outer Bike. So
yeah,
we're definitely going to try to make those two happen. And we will be doing rides and meetups or whatever sort of works out there. So
yeah, because we want to get a chance to meet you guys and actually hang out and ride and talk. Not just in the ether. Jamie from New Zealand asks when we are coming back to New Zealand.
We talk about it all the time.
We do. We have, I don't know. We sort of talked about trying to make that happen a year from now.
Yeah. So early this time 2020.
Yeah.
Or this time 2019 to early 2020.
Yeah.
Because if we go to New Zealand, we want to stay for a couple.
Yeah,
we
don't just want to go for a week. We want to be there for
so much,
a long time.
And we have lots of people that we love in New Zealand. So
yeah,
we're gonna try to make it happen. Someone says we should go to the UK. Here's the problem: there's so many places that we love in the world, and then there are also all these other places that we haven't been to, and we're we should go there.
We should go there because we haven't been.
Yeah, it turns out time and resources are limited. Do we know anyone in New Jersey? Jameis is in New Jersey. We've been there. We visited them in New Jersey. That was quite fun.
Yeah, that was really fun.
I don't know if we're going to make that happen this fall, but maybe we should.
Yeah. Well, we also, since we're in Ohio, which is near Ray's Mountain Bike Park, which is the indoor mountain bike park, sometime in January, we're going to do a Patreon ride at Ray's, which I think will be really fun because we love Ray's.
Ray's is really cool if you've never had a chance to be there.
Yeah, and so we're going to try to figure out a weekend that we can do it in January, and just get, all the people who want to come out and ride to come ride with us. And I think that'll be really fun. So let's see.
You were saying something and then I interrupted.
Oh yeah,
what were you? Do you remember what you were going to say?
Brandon Gallegos asked about long-term plan. How long are we talking here?
As you can tell, we have next year pretty well sorted out.
Yeah.
If that counts as long-term.
Yeah. If you're talking year, that's, sort of the plan. But I'm guessing that he probably meant slightly longer than that.
It's best not to think too hard about these things. But
No,
however, I will say that YouTube is definitely part of our long-term plan.
Yes.
That's why we started it.
And that's why we've talked about this, I think, occasionally, but we actually planned a lot before starting YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't just like, let's do YouTube, go. We were
arguably like too much, because our first like few months of doing it, we were like,
yeah, but we really
into it.
Took the time to decide what we wanted to do on YouTube and how we could make it sustainable so that we could do it long term. And that's like, we're in it for the long haul. We want to keep doing YouTube. We also want to keep racing our bicycles, and we love that we can do both of those. So yeah.
Yeah, we are not thinking retirement yet, although we do have one of those things called IRAs.
Look at us being adulting, hardcore adulting over here.
They don't have much money in them, and the stock market's about to crash, so it's not that much consolation right now. But like,
whatever, they exist, which is very responsible of us.
So no, we do believe and promote long-term planning and savings. We've actually been able to save a lot over the past 5 years because we
by living in a van
don't spend money, and we have really supportive families that want to hang out with us. Hopefully,
yeah.
We actually had to prevent my parents from watching the live stream because they're on the same internet and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, so we were like, sorry guys, you can't watch
whether they like us here or not.
Yeah, well, that was the real reason we didn't let them, but we claimed that it was because of the Wi-Fi.
The point is, we've been able to save a decent amount of money, so we don't particularly want, neither of us really wants to work in the bike industry. That is always an option. As someone who's like, we know a lot of people in the bike industry, we could probably do that, find a job of some sort in the bike industry today if we needed to. It's just not something that we want to do. So we have some safety net in that sense, and we have skills with social media stuff, and Mackie was a web developer, so we don't have a lined up long-term plan, but we feel relatively secure in taking the financial risks that we do with YouTube and being bike racers and whatnot.
Well, that's because of the insecurity that comes from sponsorship, and like, if the bike industry has 2 or 3 bad years, we would have no job. Probably. Yeah. I mean, there's no guarantee, but like, if they start cutting budgets, they're going to start cutting athletes, and we acknowledge that, and that's part of the reason that we want to do YouTube, is so that if that happens in the bike industry, we aren't like, oh great, we have nothing to do now, but we're willing to work hard at whatever we do. So yeah, we would figure it out one way or another.
Tanner says, come down to North Carolina before the race isn't. Okay, we tried last year.
We did try.
And it snowed like 10 inches. So if you can promise us that's not going to happen in January or March again, maybe we'll try again. We're like, we're going to go to Pisgah. It's going to be so fun.
And when was it? It was January. It was like January 25th. It
was the end of January, yeah.
Yeah, and it was when Brevard got like 3 or 4 inches, and they shut down all the schools, and it was hilarious. I mean, we had a blast because we were staying with friends of ours. We went sledding.
Anyway.
Yeah. We had a couple people ask about, just because we had a couple people ask, like, how would you rebuild confidence after a crash? This is unrelated, but we will speak briefly to that because both of us have been there. And I would say, well, actually, I would say that Rafe pretty much nailed it, which is that there's not a whole lot you can do except keep riding. But I would highly recommend working on your skills, because that's like one of the biggest things is like, if you know that you are in control of your bike, then mentally you worry less about crashing, because it's not just like rolling the dice like, oh, I might crash anytime just out of the blue.
Yeah. Before we did a lot of skills work with Lee from Lee Likes Bikes, I would have crashes all the time that I was like, oh, it was an act of fate.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, it drove me nuts when she said that.
Now I know better
Yes.
because I stopped having active fate crashes. I didn't stop crashing, but I'm like, wow, I know exactly what I did wrong this time. And I also crashed less.
Yeah.
There are no acts of fate in mountain biking. There are crashes that are sometimes out of your control. But they're very few and far between, to be honest. Like a lot, I see people say like, "Oh, there's nothing I could do," and I'm like, I could give you a list of things.
I watched you. I could tell you what you needed to do.
Obviously, if you come around a corner and there's a tree down,
or
like,
a cow,
that's
an active
c'est la vie. However, there are things you could be doing with your body position and weighting that can make it easier to brake quickly. But yeah, having more skills will build your confidence in general. And I think you just have to give it time though, like that.
And don't try to like force yourself to do stuff that you aren't comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like, don't be like, I have to hit this drop because, I crashed on it the last time. Like, just give yourself space and time and work on other stuff. And then when you're like ready, then go back and go to that drop. So BSC Jake says, I had a tree fall in front of me during a cyclocross race.
That's an active fate.
Active fate. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, few and far between, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those were ones that you're just like, okay, try to learn how to crash well. Practice somersaults. It's actually a good one.
Yeah. Someone asked about tariffs in the bike industry. Yeah, no, it's not good. Because almost everything in the bike industry is made in China. And I can tell you right now, what's affecting us for the tariffs is that our new bikes are sitting on a dock in China and they can't get on a boat because everyone, like Target, Walmart, all these companies are trying to get all their stuff out of China before the tariffs kick in on January 1st. And Jameis does not have a lot of sway next to Target and Walmart and all of these other companies. So they're just sitting on a dock right now. So that's kind of a bummer.
That's why we still have our spray painted prototypes instead of our production ones.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a crazy world we live in right now. Let's not go too far down that road. But no, tariffs are not. There are almost no bikes built in the US made. There are some that are built, meaning they put them together.
Yeah. So this is something that we find really funny. But there's a certain bicycle brand based in Colorado
turquoise
that claims they are hand built in the USA, and people are like, they're made in the USA, and we're like, no, they're either made in Taiwan or China or maybe Thailand,
maybe Vietnam,
and what the reason they can claim hand built in the USA is because they send them to the US and then the company puts the parts together and says they were built in the USA. So when you guys see built in the USA, realize that most of the time that's not true. BKXC says Gorilla Gravity, and he's correct. That's one of the ones that actually does produce their bikes. But as he points
out, all the parts are Chinese. It's not. We live in a global economy. We live in a global economy. And we actually had a really neat opportunity a few years ago to visit the Vittoria factory in Thailand.
It was so cool.
And it it honestly makes sense. It was not like a sweatshop.
No, not at all.
Like, I mean, there might be some companies in the bike industry using non-fair labor.
We don't
I'm
know.
sure there are, but this one, it was run by Thai business people, basically Thai women, actually, some like really badass Thai women ran this factory. Like, they made good living wages doing this, and they were able to make parts that are affordable for us.
And there were some of
at like a cost that if you paid someone that in the US, it would not be.
You wouldn't be able to. Yeah, well, either it wouldn't be a living wage, or we wouldn't be able. Like, no one would be able to afford to buy them
a bike.
Yeah, But they, like multiple of these employees had been there for like 15, 20 plus years, which you wouldn't stay with a company if they weren't treating you well, like for 20 years. So we were like, okay, this is really cool. And also watching how tires are made is really cool. Crazy. We really wanted to like take some photos and stuff, but it's all, it's all, what's the word?
I don't know.
Patented. That's not the right word, but
You weren't allowed to take photos.
Yeah, you can't. There's a word, but anyway, yeah, we couldn't take any photos or videos or anything, which was a bummer because it was like such a cool process.
Yeah, and I think it was good for me to see because I'd always had this kind of feeling that's like, oh, like this system is really exploitive and bad, and it really wasn't that at all.
Proprietary.
There you go.
Thank you,
wow,
guys.
Like 3 people already
yes,
are like,
you guys got it.
4.
Yeah, I like these people. Guys,
we need you guys
people.
to like follow us around all the time when we're looking
come up with words for us.
Did you see
the word, the thing, and ow.
We were on a speakerphone call with our coach, and I like described something as like the thingy that like goes with the other thingy, and he was like, "I know exactly what you mean." And Mackie was like,
making fun of them.
Both.
Yeah. I was like, "You guys, you can't do that. You can't just be like the thingy and the thingy. Thanks, guys."
Yeah.
Provocative.
No.
Provocative. Close.
But good thought.
AT210 says, what about orange bikes? And that's another example like Gorilla Gravity. Well, they're UK company.
In the UK, yeah.
Where it's like they are made in that country. But probably the wheels and the drivetrains and the brakes and all of those things are not. And, and they're going to be, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
I know nothing about alchemy. I don't know where they're made or, yeah.
I'm pretty sure alchemy is made overseas, but I'm not sure about that.
Anyway, the point is, could be interesting. We are very thankful to have people on YouTube and Patreon supporting us.
Mm-hmm. Very.
Because it's a stressful time to be an athlete in the bike industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely.
Anyone who has tuned in the past 20 minutes while we've been rambling about all sorts of things. Our big news for 2019 is that we are going to be doing some big endurance races like BC Bike Race and
which
Moab
is
Rocks.
8 days of cross-country racing.
BC Bike Race, at least, we will be doing as a co-ed duo team, which should make for some very entertaining videos.
Which means that we are the way that works is you start together and you finish together every day. So people asked like earlier, or some other people were asking us, does it mean that you like alternate days? And the answer is no. The way it works is we both race the whole race. We just we race it together. And so it's cool because you have the like emotional support of racing with someone. And if one person's really lagging, then the other person can be like, come on, I'll pull you. And then like you can ride together. And there's all sorts of.
If I get a flat, Mackie can fix it for me.
That's right.
If he gets a flat, I can ditch him and then he can catch up.
Exactly. So there are many benefits, and it's going to be very entertaining because I'm just going to ply Sid with food the whole time so that she stays happy. And I will be able to film it.
He's going to be annoyingly cheerful for this 8 days.
No, I promise I'll be a grump the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, you can be cheerful, but just like try to sound like you're out of breath.
Okay, there you go. You're doing great, Sid. Keep going. Good job. Go faster. I can barely keep up. Basically. That's what I'm going to do.
Previous rules, you have to keep your partner in sight. So we actually heard recently that was not the case for BC Bike Race.
But we're going to look at it.
It is for Breck Epic. I know that.
Yeah.
Someone told us that BC Bike Race, you're actually allowed to kind of like separate out as much as you want as long as you finish together. Honestly, we'll probably stay together even if Mackie were to get a flat because you don't know like if it's like something
if I got
worse
another
than that,
flat,
right? Then you're separated and probably your cell phones don't work and like it's just stupid. But
yeah, I mean that's so. There's like Sid said, there's kind of 2 ways. One is you have to be within like a minute of your partner at all times, so essentially within sight. And then the other way is it's when the second person crosses the finish line. And so we don't know which one this is. We think it might be the second, but either way, we're gonna ride together.
Yeah.
So and James Wood says that he just got his calendar, so we will mention it once again. Calendars for 2019. We have some really cool pictures, like this awesome picture of Sid being a badass and rolling a sweet rock. Anyway, calendars are awesome. They're on our website, which is just sidandmackie.com in the store. Let's see. let's see, somebody else. We had a couple people who had to cruise out. So thank you guys for watching. RG Castro, and I think it was Phoenix Matt had to head out earlier.
I think we've lost a lot of things, so
let's go back and
lost the thread.
Anthony wants to know if we are planning on doing Leadville 100 at any point.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
We right now the endurance events that appeal to us are definitely the ones that have like good single track in them too.
Yeah,
it's kind of a dirt road race.
Well, it is. I think of the 100 miles, 4 of them are single track, which means that 96 of them is a dirt road.
Like I would be much more into doing some gravel bike racing than doing Leadville on a mountain bike.
We could do Leadville on gravel bikes.
Nobody does that, so I'm guessing it's not a good idea.
I feel like somebody just recently did that.
They're getting like they're getting like weenier and weenier, the mountain bikes that people do them on, but they're still like basically considered mountain bikes.
That's true. I guess it's because you don't have the drop bars.
I would love it if Seth did BC bike race. That would
would be awesome. It would be fun to have Phil do it too.
It would be fun to have a crew. I'm not sure it's either.
Bike race.
I'm not sure it's really Phil or Seth's cup of tea, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We shall find out if it's our cup of tea.
Yes, we will.
July, coming soon, July 2019.
So John says that BKXC should do BC bike race, and he is, which is exciting.
Sorry, we're blowing all your secrets.
Yeah. We're really excited. Yes.
A
challenge, Brian. The challenge.
Nah, Brian's fit, man. Brian might. Yeah. This has now become my challenge. I have to stay ahead of Brian.
Sid's planning to beat or shooting to beat Brian. So challenge, Brian. The challenge is there.
Well, that's really both of us because you're stuck with me.
Good point. My challenge is to beat Brian so that Sid beat it.
Someone says 1 minute in sight rule for teams and no pushing or towing.
Oh,
that
interesting.
Makes sense. That
cool.
Makes sense.
I'm down with
you
that.
You couldn't tow someone, but
a lot of races you can though, as long as you finish.
No towing as in no drafting, or no towing as in
like people actually will have hooks and like hook it on the persons to pull them when they get tired.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be a good battle.
It is gonna be a good battle. I'm excited. So I want to know if we're going to call Brian soon and catch up because we have some logistics to talk with him. But
no, you don't have to have a partner. We're just doing it as a co-ed duo. A, because it would be fun and something we haven't done before. And B, because we would feel like sort of obligated to enter as pros because we're pro racers and we'd probably get like smoked in the pro category. So it'd be more fun. I think we can be a little more competitive as a duo.
Plus it's going to be fun. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Mm-hmm. And we like riding with each other.
Yeah.
We're not as worried as our coaches. Our coach is like, you guys are going to kill each other. But I think we'll be good.
No, yeah, I have faith in us. I know the secret to a happy marriage, and it's food. Yeah. You guys didn't know that. That is the secret to a happy marriage.
Yeah. Someone said I have to feed Brian our
scratch shoes. It's true.
Probably. You could ride with us, Brian. If
that's true. We can make it a 3-person team.
You can just jabber along and we can both be like, we hate you.
Yeah, I'll be like, here, eat this, Sid. Here, eat this, Brian. Here, eat this, Sid. Here, eat this, Brian.
Just put chicken nuggets on the trail.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah. XC stage racing may kill even Brian's appetite for chicken nuggets, but
I don't know.
Is BCBR spectator friendly? Probably not. I don't know anything about it, but mountain biking.
Let's be real. Mountain biking is never spectator friendly, ever.
What was I joking about the other day? Oh, when I was in middle school, I did writing competitions, and my mom brought it up the other day, and I was like, man, I guess I've never been into spectator-friendly sports.
Yeah, riding competitions, even less spectator-friendly than mountain bike racing, which is not spectator-friendly.
Yeah, you literally sit in a room and write for a timed amount of time.
Yeah, Mark points out that NICA is even tough for spectators, and that's like
in loops.
Yeah.
So, I think it's an experience race. Like, it's a different start and end like every day, so I can't imagine the spectating is too good, but the riding's really good around there, so you could probably like do a ride and like cheer people on for 10 minutes and then go on with your life.
That's a good point.
If you're in the area.
Yeah, if you're in the area.
Brian, bring a smaller bike. Yeah, we may all be on like team big bike, but I think it'll make it more fun.
That would be so much fun.
Because people do the BC bike race on hardtails, but there's like some techie stuff there, and I think the
Plus,
overall
I love
fun
the
factor.
Portal. It's such a good bike.
130 mil 29er.
Yeah.
Hopefully will be ideal. Though I saw like an interview with Katarina, and she was like, "I used a dropper post this time for the first time ever at BC bike race." I know. Those XC, like old school XC ladies are bad.
They are so badass.
Haul without dropper posts or like anything, and they're just like totally used to that. So they don't.
Mary McConaughey, badass. You guys probably don't like. So Mary McConaughey, cross country racer, raced all the World Cups. Went to 4 or 3. She either went to 3 or 4. 3 Olympics, and was on the Olympic
14 team. 14 world champs in a row.
14 world champs in a row. Total awesome. And now she's racing Enduro World Series as a master and just like cleaning up, basically. So
old school
fast. Yeah.
Someone says, who is the fastest YouTuber? I think it completely depends on what. It depends whether Mackie and I are lumped together. Otherwise, it's probably him. If he's stuck with me, not so much.
Deborah says BCBR is totally about spectators. She'll be there cheering. Awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Right on.
Come say hi.
Oh yeah, BCPOV. We actually don't know BCPOV, so hopefully we'll get a chance to ride with him during and possibly after BC Bike Race. I don't know. There's some guys doing fun stuff up in that area who we haven't had a chance to connect with, so I'm hoping we'll get to do that. Yeah.
I was gonna say something and now I don't remember what I was gonna say.
We were talking about BC Bike Race.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is we are trying new things.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
And we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone a little bit because we have gotten very used to racing enduro.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of great things about enduro racing, but I haven't felt like the past few years that I'm like that fit. You know, like I feel like I can go ride like park laps with like pretty much anyone, but like even riding with like you know, you're sort of like average XC person who like trains a little bit but doesn't really like train that seriously, like still getting my doors blown off by that. Part of it is I have my bike set up to race enduro.
Yeah, when your bike weighs 35 pounds, hard to ride with XC people.
Yeah, we're already registered.
Yeah.
We were on it.
Yes, so yeah, don't worry.
Is Rilo going to become a sponsor? Not an official sponsor. I think the issue with the audio was related to the case that we've been using because it's been so darn wet.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how the videos without the case go.
Yeah, the most recent one with riding Colvin's backyard trails, you should check that one out because I thought the audio was quite good on that one. We have little mic covers on the mics so that you don't get the wind noise. And I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. People have mentioned the Hero 7 and we have looked at it. And I actually recently watched somebody's footage from the 7. It's not the same. It's not nearly as stable as a Rilo. And, you know, frankly, we just aren't gonna wear gimbals. I think
the 7 would be really good on a helmet.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll probably like start talking about that soon if for some of the stage racing, if we'd rather have stuff on our head. Because obviously when you're, you know, working hard for 3 hours, like wearing a chest mount, like a gimbal is out of the question.
Definitely out
Except
of the question.
Maybe if you're Brian. Maybe Brian's
Yeah, I wonder what Brian's going to do.
We support that. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Not to mention your batteries wouldn't last, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so that might be something we look into for doing helmet mounted stuff with the 7, I think would be really good. The chest is it would be a bit of a downgrade, especially in corners. It doesn't.
Well, and the up and down. I noticed I was watching someone's and it dips too much and then goes up too much. And the turns are and the reason we started doing chest mounted is because we had a ton of people ask us for chest mounted footage. So we're, you know, trying to, we did that basically. And that was our best solution. So I'm glad Tanner said that the audio was good on that one, so I'm glad you agree.
It's just too bad that the camera isn't waterproof on its own, because then.
Well, it's not the water. At least for me, it's less the waterproof and more the lens. I want to protect the lens, because if you scratch the lens, you have to send it back to them to get the lens fixed, and like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
So
basically, in sum, we have not figured out
the perfect solution yet.
Everything with cameras, but if we had it all figured out, where would be the fun?
Exactly. Then you guys couldn't leave comments telling us how to fix it.
Yeah, gimbal's a no-go for us for racing. I think, yeah, it would just drive us nuts. It drove us nuts just riding. So. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, we could not race as seriously if we were wearing a gimbal, basically. Chris wants a moto cross training video. That we are going to try to do at some point, but we do not have our dirt bikes with us because Ohio closes the forests mid-December, and we were like, we would have like 2 weeks with them, and then we wouldn't be able to use them anymore. So that would be a waste of driving them, 3,000 miles across the country and then back. So the dirt bikes are in New Mexico waiting for our return.
Yeah. So basically our loose plan for the moment is we're going to South America in February doing Andes Pacifico.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come back and be in New Mexico and Moab and riding motos at that point. So Andes Pacifico would be cool. I think we're going to get some really neat videos out of that. It's like one of the most beautiful places on Earth. So we are pretty excited. Yeah, 2019 is already more awesome. It hasn't even started.
Yeah, that was a good summary. Real Shafto, he's got it down.
Yeah, Chile is amazing, and we're really excited.
I love Chile. We love the people. We both speak Spanish. We love that too. Like, yeah, Chile is awesome. I also liked Real Shafto's idea of just keeping a container of pistachio gelato in my bag.
Yeah.
What do you think? Would that be a good race food for you?
Depends if it's hot or not. If it's hot, it might be appealing. I don't know. I'm not sure I could do
You mean if the weather was hot, not if the gelato was hot?
Yeah, the gelato has to stay cold when the weather is hot. So that honestly presents a big logistical problem.
So I would basically need like dry ice in an insulated backpack.
Yeah.
With the gelato.
All right, it's shaping up. The plan is shaping up.
So it's like, what else could I put in Mackie's pack? That will be fun. Let's see.
We've been to Pucón before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we fly into Concepcion and then we're spending some time in Nevados de Chillán.
Which is where the EWS was in 2015.
14.
14?
It was 14.
Wow, that was a long time ago. But the riding there is amazing.
Yeah.
So
we might be able to. I think Pucón is.
It's farther south.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going
I don't think we're going to go. Yeah.
But there are some cool areas between there and Santiago.
We're definitely going to go. Tanner was asking if sponsors pay for Andes Pacifico. The way our relationship with sponsors work is we figure out a contract with them and they give us X amount of money, and we decide how to spend that. So basically, we're usually like, okay, we're thinking of doing this race and this race, but it's not like we are forced to do that or like have it written in the contract. So we decide how we're going to spend that money and then, do that or use it for other stuff or whatever. But they trust us to represent them well without like stipulating all the races we have to do, which we like because it gives us some the ability to control our schedule and do the races we want to do and not just be like, okay, you have to follow this series or that series or whatever.
Yeah.
So you were laughing about something.
Oh, wait. All we have to do is fill a Yeti growler with gelato.
Oh, the Yeti cooler.
So maybe we don't need dry ice.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, mug things. I don't know. I don't know if I could do ice cream while racing. Might make me sick. We have a lot to work on with the endurance racing because when we did Downeyville, which was kind of like our one XC race last year, like I cramped up big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
bet
I'm
you
gonna have
that's
to work
about
on-
how long time-wise they're going to be, though. I bet you
yeah,
we're
for
looking
8
at like
days in a
3.
row. What could possibly go wrong?
You've got a point. She's got a point. She's got a point. By the way, bye, Real Shafto.
Yeah,
thanks for tuning in. Thoughts on hip packs? We actually have been using, or I have been using the, what is it? The Savu, I think, or maybe it's the Serral. Osprey has 2 new hip packs. One is like a hydration bladder with a long hose hip pack.
That's pretty cool.
And then the other one is 2 bottles. And the hydration one is really cool. So I'm fully into hydration hip packs, but
I think just whatever works for you. I don't really love having something around my stomach all the time.
yeah.
I think we have the vest packs
Mm-hmm.
that are originally trail running packs by Osprey, but they are really good for riding. And that's
They're
sort of
awesome.
my preference for pack is just have like tight.
Yeah. Those, by the way, are the Duro and Dyna. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we probably need to wrap this up. We got a random question. Is Highline in Sedona easier than Portal in Moab? I would say yes, but I don't know.
Portal is the one we did that time.
Portal is the one where there's a sign like 100 people have died here or something.
Don't die here.
People have died here. People just like you or something really dramatic like
that. It
is
really dramatic.
They're
say
comparable, really.
Yeah, I'd say comparable in a lot of ways.
Don't ride the section where it says you might die.
Well, the other thing is, I think
that's only like 10 feet.
Highline is much shorter.
Highline's really short.
Highline you can do in like, I think we did it with BKXC, like taking our time in like under an hour.
Stopped and looked at stuff.
Yeah, and I think it was
the whole loop,
like the whole loop,
up and down.
Yeah, whereas Portal, you do Mag 7 to Gold Camp to Portal. It's much longer. So
yeah, if you do it that way, that is a big. Is there any other way to do it?
You might be able to get driven up that really gnarly dirt road to the bottom of Mag 7, but
that's probably why I say Portal was harder, because we were cooked and we ran out of water before we even got to Portal.
That was bad. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says we should ride with Seth. We have ridden with Seth.
Yeah.
There's a video from April of this year. We rode with Seth and Brian.
And in Rockville.
Yeah, Rockville.
Near Brian's house.
There's a video on Brian's channel as well. But I don't think Seth was filming that day.
No, he was playing with a new camera and didn't have it figured out. So.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah. Seth requires working body parts.
True.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, at the moment he's lacking in that, isn't he? Poor Seth.
Yeah. Poor Seth. Okay, well, we are going to head because it is almost 10 o'clock, which is our bedtime.
Basically, actually, it's like a little past our bedtime, to be totally honest. We're about the honesty and transparency here.
That's right, honesty and transparency.
We've been going to bed at like 9.
We usually go to bed at 9, and then we read our books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm reading Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. It's awesome.
Have you not read that before?
No, have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, ages ago.
You would have.
Our hype man is reminding us to
thank
plug
you,
Patreon.
Trails to Ales.
But no, like seriously, everyone who supports us on Patreon, you guys are awesome, and like it means a lot, and we try hard as we can to give back as much as we can, and we really appreciate everyone who's watching this channel and making it happen and being more awesome.
Yep. And thanks for so many of you guys joining us here for the live chat. It's really fun. Like we said, we enjoy this and we want to do it more. And hopefully we will be able to do that while we're in Ohio because the internet is better here.
Thanks for posting the link.
Matt posted the link. You guys are the best. Oh man, these guys are going to make me cry. You guys are so, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
You didn't even cry at our wedding.
It was close. I did cry at our wedding.
That's true. You're right. He cried.
I cried at our wedding. Check. Okay. thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
All of you guys are
Have
just the best.
Good night, and
Yeah.
we will be back on Friday with
on Friday.
another video. We're going to share some tips on how to stay motivated to ride when it was gross. And we came up with this
And it's the
because we were
holidays.
riding in an absolute downpour for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was like 50 degrees, pouring rain.
Under 50, but yeah.
Under 50 degrees, pouring rain.
For like 2
And
days straight.
Neither of us, we were
had to
both
just
like,
get out
we
and
don't
get
want to
it
go
done.
ride. And we were
And
like, we
that was
have
so
to go
much better.
ride. We have to. And so then we made a video.
Cool.
Okay.
So anyway, you'll see that on Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are the best.
We're going to finish it with this.
Yeah, a few more days to get on Patreon and get one of these stickers.
Yes. We love you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
I don't know where the end button is.
End the button.
All right. Bye. Uh-oh.